Okay, I think I've successfully spammed all the discords that I want to today. Alright, looks good. Hello, everyone! Even though it might just be myself right now. Alright, so today I'm going to be doing some review or analysis of the game replays from the JPML Phoenix League Finals. So in JPML, or the Japan Professional Mahjong League, there is a number of titles and leagues that they have, and at the top of all of those, their main league uh, and most prestigious title is known as the Ho title, or translates to the Phoenix title. So this is the first game of the last year's finals, and I am going to be going over these. So yeah, and uh, I have a restriction where I need to cover up names when streaming Ron too, but I don't know if I necessarily need to do it for this, but just in case I did, the person that we are watching is the person that ended up winning this title, who is also an M-leaguer. And yeah, so a little bit about the finals and the rule sets. The finals for the Phoenix League have a total of 16 Hanshan, and they are played using the JPML A-League rules. So those rules are basically Ippatsu, Ura, Nash, so no Ippatsu or Ura, no Red Dora, and then the Uma is a bit weird. Uma is the placement bonus at the end of the game. Oh, hello, Glassy Press. So for the Uma bonus, you get. It's an easy way to describe it. So it can. Actually, I know a way to describe it. I'll just write it down. All right, let's see. So if you have, let's say, two people over starting points, which is 30,000 points, then first place gets an additional 8,000 points. Second place gets an additional 4,000 points. Third loses 4,000 points, and fourth loses 8,000 points. If there is only one person that's above starting points, that person gets 12. Second gets -1. Third gets -3, and last gets -8. Similarly, if there's only one person below, first place gets +8. Second place gets +3. Third gets +1, and last place gets -12. And then if there's a tie, they also use, what do they use for a tie? Or, oh, I'm sorry. If there's no one over starting points, I don't know what they do, actually. I have to go look at that. Luckily, that hasn't happened in any of my games yet. Alright, so looking at this, the UMA for this rule set is actually not that big. So the biggest thing here is points matter a lot. So being able to make a Mongon without using Akadora or Ippatsu Ura because they don't exist, and building up really big hand value is generally what's viewed as the strategy in this. But I don't actually know much really hardcore strategy for the JPML A-League rules, so that's why I'm studying this today. So I'm just gonna step step by step go through this and try to look like what they discard, what they could discard, what they actually discarded, why did they do that, and like what were their other choices, to see if I can get a glimpse of like what is the base play for this JPML A-League style. Like, what are you generally looking for? All right, let's get to it. And as always, if you notice anything that I say and you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. If you have any like things you want to talk about, also just throw it in the chat. I'm completely lost, so I'm learning as you are. All right, let's go. Starting off, East 1. And who are we going to be watching? Let's switch over to watch the winner of last year, and they start off as Northwind. So, door is the 8-pin. And let's see what we got here. So I got 1-pin, 5-pin north. So starting off, we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, like 3 pairs in hands. Got our self winds, the north, which is currently 1 cut. Let's see, east and west, or I'm sorry, east and Hatsu. So there's 2 more Yakuhai right there. Got a lone 4, so a lone 6-pin, and everything else is in a block. What do we drop here? Well, if you're just looking at like the blocks, technically we got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks right now, like with something connected, and 8-pin is the Dora. So probably want to keep the 6 around. Forso is pretty good for getting like a shape upgrade. I guess technically with this hand, Tanyao is kind of unlikely considering we have like a June pair. We could even like just open up cheap, but if we want to aim for like a Mongon, I guess. Technically, you just need like Ricci plus 2, because you get Ricci, Sumo, and in this case, let's say we got 1 Dora and then Chun. That would technically be enough for a Mongon. So probably one of the Yakuhai, I'm guessing, or maybe the Forso even, but yeah, I have no clue. Let's see what they do. All right, yeah, so they went with one of the Yakuhais. Currently, west, or I'm sorry, north is 1 cut, so they cut that one before the east and the west, I'm guessing. All right. Oh, and on this client, if you see these tiles on the discards that are darker than the other ones, that means that they're Tsumogiri. So they just drew it and then discarded the same tile, whereas tiles that are the regular color are tiles that came from their hand. So we got a 6-pin. Ooh. So technically 8-pin's the Dora, so you kind of want to keep the 6 around, right? But we could technically also, I guess, go for even like a Chanta or something. This could be like a 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 5. We have the Chun, we have potential pair potential here. If we get a 7 or 8 with this 9, that includes the Dora and also technically fills the criteria of like Chanta. Or if we want to just play it straight, I guess probably 9-pin. See what they do. Yep, just play it straight. No overthinking. Alright. Nothing crazy from our opponents yet. Drew something right here on this. So now we have still 4 blocks, but we've improved the 3-pin block some. And technically, this would also make it a bit easier to go for that Chanta hand now. For instance, if we did get like a 1-mon and an 8-mon and a 1-pin, as well as the Chun, and then we can get another pair with this honor tiles that we have right here. Technically speaking, yeah, I guess we could do that. So maybe even like 4-so or 6-pin. If we drop the 4-so, then that's probably okay, I guess. Or we can just do it straight, try to go fast and drop one of the honors. Let's see what he does. Drops the 6-pin. What? That is interesting. All right. Huh. Why did he drop the 6-pin? So if we assume that every other player is also going for 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. Oh yeah, you could do also 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. That's a nice point. And if we assume that, I guess like every other player is also going for like value, or initially at least, then the 6-pin is definitely going to be like a hot tile later on because it's near the Dora. And then even without the 6-pin with this hand, as H's mentioned, we got a 1, 2, 3, or I'm sorry, 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku, and we also have Itsu or Chanta chances. Who's the other guy in the background? Yes, that is my local German that is crashing on my floor, also known as Shori. He just came home from the Janso. Shori, Shori.
Yeah, what's up?
How'd you do at the parlor today?
Well, plus minus 0 pretty much exactly.
All right, plus minus 0 pretty much exactly.
Yeah, like
Free games.
yeah, pretty much.
Nice. All right. Okay, so yeah, you decided to throw the 6-pin. Choose like the Sanshoku options over like the Dora potential right there. It's kind of interesting. Dealer drops 2 cut west, 20 min 6 so, and we got a 1 so from there. We draw a so he draws another pay. Is he just gonna like throw it out, or does he want to keep it for like a safe tile perhaps? Just gonna throw it out. Someone getting discards from all 3 players, and then we got a currently 1 cut south. It's a guess win. Seeing as though they threw the west, I'm guessing they probably don't want to keep the south right now, but yeah. Hatsu, which we have, is currently 1 out right there. Another 6-0, so this is interesting. So Toyman dropped 2 6-0s, so that could show that they have too many blocks in hand, or they're specifically aiming for something. For instance, like something in like the Mansu, since they do like early 5-pin, early 6-0, or technically something similar to our hand, where it's like outsides. Okay. Ooh, and we draw a 1-pin. Nice. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. We got this Mensu right here, which now brought us to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 Shanten. So still a bit far. But compared to like Akaadi or even like Ipatsu Adi rule sets, so like the WRC rule sets or like Tenho or Marso, um, games go a little bit slower, I think, on JPML A-League rules because you have to spend some time to actually get the value up, and so that means you have to, use hand yaku. And using hand yaku is generally a lot slower than just like beelining for Tenpai that you'll see in a lot of other rule sets. Okay, so what do we got here? Confirms the 2. Okay. So at this point, with the 1 in hand, it's basically kind of like decided, like, all right, Chanta is like definitely an option now, right? We still need 1 more block, and we have the floating tiles, the 4. The 3 is also now a floating tile, and we have these 2 as well. The 2 is technically can be used as like a pair right here, or if we like draw a third one, then we can have like 2, 2, 2. But if we have that, then this hand is going to get really cheap really fast. So rather than that, keep all the different floating tiles that we have, keeping the 4 around just in case we can switch over to Sanshoku. Dropping the 2 still keeps our 2/3 Ryamen right there, so we don't lose anything from it. Keeping the 3 just in case we can draw like another 2 or 1, which would be good for not only Peiko but also Chanta. And then keeping the honor tiles around to draw those as well. Okay. Oh, 2, 5. Alright, so Toyman has dropped a middle tile in all 3 suits, so either I guess they're close to Tenpai, or they're similar to us and going for an outside hand. 1 pin dropped right there. We are kind of sad. 1 pin has no tiles left. But we just drew another 3-pin, so 1 pin's kind of sad right now. But with this 3-pin, technically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks now, 2 Shanten, and we could he could technically even open up this hand with a quick tune, and yeah, just seal the deal. So from my personal perspective at this point, I'm like, well, I might as well just like throw the 4-so and take the cheap hand if it comes, or if I get lucky and draw the east or the Hatsu or the Green Dragon, we can throw out this 3-pin, switch over, and instantly have our Chanta back. So let's see what they do. Oh, okay. So he's like, nope, nope, I'm still going for value. Uh, Keeping the wow, okay, huh. So yeah, from a fishing perspective, Hatsu or East, specifically Hatsu, since I guess it's one cut now, is generally the throw right here. But for value, if he is going for value, I guess like keeping the Forcer around does still give the potential upgrade for Sanshoku. Now with like the pair of the threes, you can even get like Sanshoku Penfu, but that's really far away. Or it could just be like a general shape upgrade if we are just going for the tune. And with the 3-3 pair that we don't have Chanta anymore, if we do draw like a 3-so or a 5-so, that Ryaman can beat out this 7-8, I'm sorry, 7-9 monster that we have right here. Okay, so just straight efficiency. Huh. As you can see, I know nothing about this rule set. Alright. Dealer drops one of the East, so we got two that we can see right now. Toyman drops one of the Hatsus, so we can see all three. And then another East comes out right here, so East only has one left. So if we want to keep East as the safe tile, I guess that's a thing. We drew the Haku, so there's no Haku out right now, I guess. Which can mean like either A, someone has a couple potentially, or it's in someone's hands, or it's in the wall. Um, so yeah, what do we do here? Technically, if you want, like if we're playing Tenho, you could just like quickly throw out like the Haku, and keep around the east as like a safer tile. Uh, in this rule set though, it might actually even be better to just like Shibori or like to purposely like hold back tiles that other people might want so they don't call, especially if your hand is like really cheap. Because right now it's like what? Just about this is our 8th discard, and we don't see any of the door right now. So already by like what the 4th turn, half of the tiles are already being used. And so the fact that we don't see any door right now has a pretty big indication that someone has one or multiple Dora. So yeah. Let's see what they do. Is it just gonna be the east or what? Nope, they Sakigiri. Huh. Alright, so at this point, dreams are dead. Cutting down to 5 blocks, which we have the Ryamen right here, Kanchan right here, we have this pair right here. We can call this for a Yaku, and then we have these two tiles to fall back on. East is a pretty nice safe tile that we can use, and then the White Dragon is something that we probably won't want to drop until we're Tempai, or better yet, if we're lucky and it's still in the wall, we can grab that and switch over, potentially even gaining value in this hand. Okay. Dealer dropping the 1-so, Tsumogiri, and Chun comes out. Do we pawn this? So this is the first Chun, so technically speaking, we could pass it up and try to like hunt for the second one. If we do call it, we're Ishanten with what? Base 12 tiles, but currently we can see one of the 8s out and then one of the 1s, so we got like 3 and 7 remaining for these shapes. Huh. And then we don't see any door right now though, so if we do call it, we could either, get a quick hand to like kill any like big Dora like scary death hands. But on that same line of thought, if we call and like, lower our hand's defenses and we try to push his hands later on, we could actually end up dealing into the player who has those Dora, because we don't know where they are right now. So let's see what he does. Passes it up. So he's like, nope, nope, not calling that first tune. Doesn't think it's worth. Okay. We got another 9-pin right now, so this is the second one that we drew. We got rid of the 6 earlier, and then Dora is the 8. So no one's in Ricci right now, and then Toyman just dropped like a 6, so this 9 seems pretty safe to drop right now, but later on, if someone like does get to Ricci, it's going to be pretty dangerous because it's right next to the Dora. So, are they just gonna Tsumogiri it? Or what? Yep. Dealer, Tsumogiri, Toyman is like, no, the 6s. And then we got a 3 drop from them, okay. So technically we could actually call the 3 too, but by doing so, we would have no Yaku. So yeah, so pass up on that. 7 draw. So 7 does increase our available tiles that we can take in, by letting us make a pair or a triplet out of the 7. Uh, Aside from that, though, it's not really good for any like value. It gives us the benefit of like +2 tiles, but later on we'll have to potentially drop it. So yeah, I just kind of like no one seems like super like, oh, I gotta run right now, except maybe like Toyman. I don't know what they're doing. So are they just gonna Tsumagiri it, or are they like just already folding at this point since we're on like the 10th turn? Oh, nope, they went pure efficiency right here, dropping the Haku right now, taking that extra Ogede, and just heading straight for Tenpai. Huh. So I'm guessing like right now they don't think anyone's currently in Tenpai, so they're gonna risk dropping the Haku here. Um, if you drop the East right here and then you drop the Haku later, especially the later and later it gets, Shonpai Honor Tile gets a lot more dangerous. So if we can drop that before it gets dangerous, that would be pretty good. Alright. Sumogiri. Oh, second one comes out. If we don't call this, then we have nothing left. So, looks like he pawned it. Alright, now what do we discard here? Um, if we are fearless and we want to go as like fast as humanly possible to Tenpai, we drop the East. Let's see. Even if we drop the East, how many safe tiles do we potentially actually have for each player? So for this player, we have the 1, 2, and the 9, so it's pretty safe for them even if without this East. For this player right here, we also have like 3, 3, 3, and the 1, so also pretty safe. Toyman's the only weird one, because they started dropping off all these middle tiles. Currently, like actual safe tiles for them, we have nothing. But and technically, the East is like could technically be waited on by them, but it's pretty unlikely, unless they're just like really cool with like a late game Hellweight Tonki. Wow, Hallorian, long time no see. That is my my meditation senpai. All right. So yeah, what do we drop here? Yeah, we don't really have like anything like guaranteed for Toyman. The one pin's like really safe because like unless they have Kokushi, then they can't. Well, actually, and Kokushi's dead. So yeah, one pin is actually safe for Toyman. Because it's Suji and we can see all 4 of them. So I guess we just throw East right here. See what they do. Yep. So they just throw East. Dealer dropping a 9-so from hand. Toyman, Sumagiris. Wow. I hope they're not going for Chitoitsu. That would be kind of sad. Tsumagiri's a 3-cut East, so if they needed a safe tile, I guess not, unless they already have one. Driving to work. I hope you're listening to the stream only and not watching it. ah, doing good, doing good. Enjoying the Corona life of Japan, which is basically kind of ignoring Corona because Abe just solved it. Go Japan. Luckily, wearing masks over here is a lot more prevalent than in the U.S. Alright, so we drew a 9. Currently we can see one of them out on the board. Our other option is 7. So what can we drop right here? If we drop our 9 or a 7, that would have like the highest Ukaere. Specifically, if we drop the 9, technically that has one more tile. But if we drop the 7, the 9 actually might be easier to pawn, depending on what people are throwing. We could also technically drop the 1 and 2 Pinzu here, and then if we do that and we pawn, technically we could even switch over to get a Toy hand. Or if we're like lucky, we drop like the 1 pin, we draw a 7 or a 9, we drop the 2, and then after that we draw like a 2 or a 3. We could even upgrade this hand to like a Sananko chance as well. So yeah, that's actually potential. That actually doesn't sound that bad. And even if we do drop, well, if we do drop the 1 and the 2, we can't take in the 8 anymore because we don't have a pair, but we could easily get that back. Huh. Okay, let's see what they're gonna do. Yep, drops the one pin right here, decides, hey, look, I can like pull in the 7, I can pull in the 5, and I can even switch up this hand to get a Toy Toy. If they do go for Toy Toy, because they have this Onko right here, it's guaranteed to be at least 5,200 points, so not bad. Um, Deciding between to throw the 1 or the 2 first. Currently the 2 has 1 out, so technically there's still 2 left, so if we do get a 2, we can upgrade. The 1 is completely dead, but it's at least safe for Toyman. But there's still, actually that's not that bad. Uh, if we look at what Toyman's going for, they cut all the middle tiles, so good chances they're probably going for like a potential outside hand, maybe even something like Chitoitsu. But even then, the 2 is actually really safe because we see all the 1s and we see all the 3s and we see 2 of the 2s. So the only way they're waiting on this 2 is as a Tonki or a Shabo. So a little bit of greed, but not that much. Alright, so Tsumagiri's the 7, Tsumagiri's 9, and Tsumagiri's 8. So 8 comes out, we could technically chi for a higher Gere Ishanten, but that seems like a waste. And also, you're left with like an 8 Kanchan, and there's only 2 left after you call, so yeah, probably pass. What do we got here? So south, we can see 1, 2, 3, so probably just kill off that. Unless we want to keep it as a safe tile, then drop like the 2 pin. Yep, okay. So they decide, well, I'm not going to keep the 1 pin, but I'm going to keep this. That's an interesting choice from them. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. Or maybe it's just like, well, we're into the late game now versus last turn. It's like, oh, still early enough. Um, the South could technically be weighted only on a Hellweight Tonki right now. Kokushi is dead. Okay. Dealer, pushing on, pushing on. So once we get into the late game, another thing to note is if you're like us, and you're like, oh, I don't know who the dealer is, and especially if you're far away, or I'm sorry, I hope you know who the dealer is. The dealer is this person, by the way. If you're going in late game, you don't see any Dora, you don't know who's going to be like the really scary person. So it could be, anyone. And one way you can kind of like get a hint of like who it is looking at what they're doing with their discards. Specifically, are they like throwing a lot of safe tiles, or are they just like no cares, or just like barreling down the street, being like I am the best hand. Right now, we're pushing a little bit, but still pretty modestly. And then we also have like one Shanten, so we can fight for that. Looking at the other players, Dealer specifically is just like, Shompai, or not that technically Shompai, but out there 5 pin, out there 7, which is like right next to the Dora, so they are definitely just like going on. Toyman is, I don't know what they're doing. So they threw the 9 right there, was technically safe for us. But the 4 pin like before that, unless they just thought, oh, there's not much danger. I guess it's a slight push. 1 chance Nakasuji for everyone. This person's dropping the 8. It's technically a Shompai, so that's still like pushing some. So, or I'm not. Technically, it's only safe for them, so that's still pushing some. So yeah, I have no idea who has the Dora here. Ugh. All right. Toyman draws. Tsumagiri's a 6. Call from our Kamicha. Okay, so they call with the Dora, so they have at least 1 Dora in the hands, and they drop the 5. So from a 5-7-8-8 or 5-7-8 shape, that suggests they either have more tiles around the 8 or more tiles around the 5. And they drop a 3 early on, so that's kind of scary. If we assume that they are Tempai, I don't think that would be a bad assumption. So we just drew a 6. If I'm looking at this as like a Tenho player running away, probably just throw the South. I mean, if we have Tempai, then we can fight with some dangerous tiles. Technically, yeah, probably just with the South. If we want to fight, then either 6 Mon or the 7 Mon at this point we can throw out. 6 Mon is currently a Shompai, in other words, it hasn't been dropped once. 7 Mon is also hasn't been dropped once. So they're both kind of difficult pushes, so let's see what they decide to do here. So yeah, they just drop the South. Okay, Dealer. Reach. Drops the 4, declares a reach. We don't have any idea who has Aldador. We can see one finally right here. So let's see. Oh, and Rond. Alright. So Shimachi runs them with a Tanya Wandora. At this point, who had Aldadora? Got it. Isha. Yeah, connection while driving probably isn't the best. So let's see what was actually going on here. Holy crap. So yeah, dealer was, I'm sorry, Toyman was really scary. Look at this. So they were just like casual Damaten with like a Dora Dora Haku. If they run, that's already 5,200 points. If they Tsumo, that goes, let's see, is that a Mongon? Yeah, that's a Mongon. Dealer decides to reach on the 4. Were they Tenpai before that? Let's see. Nope, so they just hit Tenpai. Through that, Richi for a Richi, Pinfu, one Dora. And then, why were they holding on to the 5 so long? Is that just like their safe tile? Or are they potentially looking at, like if they draw like a 7, they could get the 567, 567, 567 Sanshoku. So I guess that's another potential. Yeah, it's probably, I guess that's why they're keeping the 5, as far as I can guess. Alright. So ends round 1. Alright. Round 2. Point situations, like I mentioned before, don't actually matter a lot. They do matter towards the end of the game, but until then, it's not really that much that much attention gone to looking at the placements and score and figuring out like, oh, how do I get above X player? Because the UMA here is really low, and so generally speaking, if you get even like one Mongon hand, that's already more like benefit that you'll get than like moving up a placement. So, starting off the next hands, Dora is... Actually, let's change this a little. Yeah, there we go. I added the remaining numbers of tiles to the center as opposed to like a tiny little animation of a wall. So Dora is the 5 pin. We currently are starting off with a hand that looks pretty okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still 4 Shanten, but we have 2 completed Mensu, and we also have the Dora. We have 2 Yakuhai and this guest win, so yeah. This looks like a pretty straightforward hand. Run towards the Dora. Let's see what they do. So if we are playing just run to Tenpai, South came out right there. I'm sorry, West came out right there. Oh, and West is our wind. My bad. I said it was an Otakaze. So yeah, we have 3 Yakuhai right here. This is one cut. So I guess right here we can either drop like the 9 or the Sha. If we keep the 9 around, we have Itsu potential and also has a little bit extra Ukede. Sha is currently one cut, so let's see what they do. So yeah, throughout that west wind. Let's see, 5 mile north. Ooh, nice. So we just drew a 7, which connects to like the 5, 6, 7, and also that gives us a leftover Tatsu right here of the 2, 4. So that moves up our hand to 3 Shanten. I guess if we're playing this straightforward, we can throw the tune or the east. Or if we want to try to get like some value from these, we could just throw out the 9 mon. So let's see which ones they decide to do. They throw out the 9 mon. If they do get Richi, Sumo, Dora, and then 1 Yakuhai, that is Mongon for them. Alright, dealer throws out 9, got another 9, Hatsu, and a Forso, nice. So we can pretty much almost confirm like Tanyao here even. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks with this Forso draw, putting us in 2 Shanten. And if we draw any pair in the Tanyao tiles, that can give us Richi Tanyao 1 Dora, which can go up to a Mongon with Sumo. So, do we just drop 1 here, or I guess we just drop 1 here, or unless we want to like start dropping these. If we keep the 1 around, we can draw the 2, which can give us a little bit shape improvement. But even if we drop this 1 and draw a 2 later, it's still really good, and we don't have a pair right now, so it's even better. So we don't really need the 1. If we keep around the east and the tune, technically we can draw them later on to give us some more options. Or if we drop these both now, we could technically try to stop other players from drawing them. So I don't know what their mindset is. Let's see. So yep, go ahead and drop the tune. Keep the potential from the 1. Let's see, north 5, another tune's right there. There we go. Drew us the 9 so now we have 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, 5 blocks, but we have too many Mensu. So this is actually a really good situation because we have no head, so we have no pair, and we also have Mensu over. So if you ever have no pair and your Mensu over, that means if you draw any pair on any of your like Tatsus that you haven't completed yet, then your hand progresses forward. So we can draw the 2 or the 4, we can draw the 7 or the 9, we can draw the 2, the 4, we can even draw a 7 with this cool shape. And then of course we can like fill all these in as well. Looking at this, they decided to forego that 1, keep this east around right now. So why'd they drop the tune earlier, but then drop the 1 this time? Like safety-wise, like Toyman, it's safe for them. This is currently a Shonpai, so I guess maybe even like, oh, I don't want to drop this unless I have something to fight for. Because East, I guess, is pretty big, if, let's say, the dealer calls it. Because that would give the dealer, instant, like, 2 Han. So if they have, like, just 2 Dora in hand, they could make a pretty quick death hand with that. Guess we'll have to see. Alright. This person drops the Tatsu. Toyman is very sad with their Tsumogiri. Drops an 8, and we draw a 2! So this is pretty cool, because now we have a potential 2-3-4, 2-3-4, 2-3-4 Sanshoku. So if we're looking at like that, we have like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, 2 Shanten from that. We can even get Tanyao drop like the 9 so, and that, yeah, that looks really good. I would probably drop the 9 so. What are they gonna do? Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, East, right. That thing existed. So yeah, they dropped the East, confirming their full hands. They can take in a pair of literally anything in here now. Uh, and as far as like Yakuai go, I don't exactly know like what stats or anything that they use, if any, or is it just like, you know, years and years of experience. But stat-wise, at least, the longer you hold on to a Yakuai tile, the more likely it is that someone will be able to call or win off of it. So technically speaking, if you didn't want anyone to call, you could get rid of them as fast as humanly possible. Uh, or of course, if you don't really have a hand worth fighting for, you could just hold on to them forever and never give them up in the first place. Okay. What do we got? Dealer. That's not dealer anymore. This is dealer. East. Dealer drops south. And we got another Tatsu drop from this guy. And oh my god! Alright, so this is not the best thing that could happen, because the best thing that could happen is we draw a 5. Because if we get a 5 right here, then that confirms our Tanyao pair. We have all of our blocks set up for a Tanyao, Sanshoku, 1 Dora. But the 5 isn't that bad. So, I'm sorry, the 2 draw isn't that bad. So now if we drop the 7 so and then 9 so, we can be 1 Shanten away from a Richi Tanya 1 Dora. If we sumo that, so that was technically a Mongon. Yeah. If we keep around the 7, we could get an upgrade shape, which would be nice. Or if we just want to play, like, I guess, defensively, you would drop the 7 first. But yeah, let's see what they do. Yeah, ideally, yeah, I'm guessing you want to drop the 9 so, because if you do draw another, like, 7 so, you can switch over your pair and get back your 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. Okay. Oh. But no, they go the defensive route. That is interesting. So yeah, they drop the 7 so before the 9 so. That's really interesting. Is it because they like see danger? So right now, if we look on the field, this person right here currently has Tatsu over. This person right here also has a Tatsu over. I don't know about A-League rules, but like in Akari rules, usually this means 1 to 2 Shanten. Unless it's like really early on, then maybe like 2 to 3 Shanten. But yeah, these could potentially be like 1 to 2 Shanten signs, which if that is the case, they might be like, well, if these two could like come and reach you at any time, I'd rather get rid of the 7 now than later. So that might be some of their thought process. Alright, next player, Tomogi 7 comes out from hand Tuso, so they valued all all of these Manzu tiles less than they did this Tuso, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe a connection tile, or that might actually be the suit that they're wanting. There's still no Pinzus from their hands, but they did drop a Shonpai South before that, so suggest this probably has something to do with their hand, unless it's like a really cool bluff. This person dropped a really nice interest Tatsu, so they had an 899 shape, presumably in their hand. They dropped that. What do we got here? So, drew the 4. If we drop the 9 right here, it's a little bit less safe, but it gives us a, what, +4 Ukeire? And considering that we're Ishanten for a potential Mongon, that's probably what I would do. Let's see what they do. Yep. Okay, we got 3-so drop. 3-so has 3 more left for us. And so 1 comes out from their hands. Presumably they have some connection to that 1. Ooh. 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 Okay. So we drew the 6 here, which means if we wanted, we could technically have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like shape, which could be waiting on like the 1, the 4, and the 7. Unfortunately, we have a 1 over here in our discard pile, but that's not that bad. If it does get to Riichi, technically speaking, a 3-sided Furitan weight is a pretty decent amount higher win rate than a non-Furitan Kanchan weight. And yeah, Sanshoku is already kind of killed anyway because we, drew this pair of like the 2s. And even if we try to like get a potential other pair on this 4, our Sanchoku is still kind of dead. So considering that, do we just like go straight up Pinfu Tiny outdoor chances, drop the 2? Um, yeah, that doesn't look that bad. I guess another thing is you could potentially like drop this 2-mon over here and like confirm that shape, but then you lose about 4 Ukedi from that. Let's see what they decide. Ha, 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 huh, ha, ha. Oh, okay. Huh. So they said I want to try to potentially get another Sanshoku. Is what I'm seeing right here. So we got a 4-5-6, 4-5-6, and we have a 4 right here. So technically, if we draw a 5 or a 6, then instantly we're back on track for a Tanyao Wandora Sanshoku. Huh. That is actually really cool. Huh. That is interesting. Okay. This person decides to pawn, drops a south, which looks like a safe tile overflow potentially from their hand. They could be Tempai right now. Currently, we see 1 Dora and 3 are missing, so that's a bit concerning. 1 and 8. uh, Robin Trillium's mentioned in chat. Yep, yep. Bit ambitious, and it pays off. No, this rule set's actually really interesting because it kind of like supports ambition, and it's almost like a battle. I think of like the ambitious hands versus like the super quick fast hands. So ideally you would have both, which is like having like 3 Dora and like a Tanyao that you can just call. But aside from that, because there's no Ipatsu or Ura, you gotta like build up those hands, and so trying to like stretch over and get lucky enough to potentially throw in a Sanshoku is actually really big in this rule set, and one of the main strats that I think I've seen people use. Unwise, well, Unwise, I'll ask, how can you see that the discards are from their newly drawn tile or from their hands? Uh, if you notice on the board, if they're a little bit darker, that means they came from just draw and discard, so they didn't come from their hand. If they're light, that means that they came somewhere from their hand. So whenever they drew or they called, they discard that next tile from their hand. Where can you find info on the rules? That is a great question. I should probably add a write-up on that on my Twitch page. Let's see, JPML A-League rules. So, let's see. I see B-League rules. Rules around the web. Uh, Japanese Professional Mahjong League Wiki. I don't know if there's any place that actually has like the rules written down somewhere. Um, So this has some explanation of the rules on this page right here. It has like a lot of rules. As far as like an actual write-up of the JPML rules is concerned, I do know actually a person that has a PDF on that, so I'm actually gonna go ask her for that, and so I might be able to get that. Let's see. Rule explanation. Rule sets. Okay, cool. So let's see. So yeah, if I get this PDF, then I'll post up a link to that later. All right, going back to the game, what do we got? So yeah, we just drew a 5, like the best thing ever. So his, like foresight of like, hey, I could drop the 7 right here and potentially get a 5/6, 4/5/6 Sanshoku just instantly paid off, which is kind of absurdly amazing. So what do we do here? If we draw, so we can drop basically like the Tuso or like the 3-mon and still keep all of our happiness. Looking on the board, 3-mon is nowhere to be seen. Tuso is at least one right here, but this person dropped like a 3-so right here, and they're also calling, and they also dropped a 1-cut honor tile after calling, and it potentially could be dangerous. But I guess all the better reason to throw it now. So if I'm looking at this, I kind of want to drop the Tuso, but let's see which one they decided to do. Yeah, so they went with the Tuso. Yes, no Richi-Con, no Ura, like nothing. No Ipatsu, no Red Dora. Yes, this is indeed the no fun mahjong. But yeah, it is kind of interesting just looking at the rule set itself, because in most rule sets, so like Akaari rule sets, so on Tenho, and especially like even like WRC rule sets that don't use Red Dora but still have like the or what is it, like Ipatsu, Uradora, and Condora. Ricci is really overpowered, like absurdly overpowered. Uh, and actually, I'm really curious to see stats on JPML A-League rules, because if you look at the stats for like Tenho, the highest, the most common Yaku in all of Tenho is Ricci. I think the second highest is Red Dora, and then the third highest is like regular Dora. But yeah, I am kind of curious to see if Ricci is still that prevalent in JPML A-League rules. But without that Ipatsu and Ura, you're forced to like look out for like these like clutch Sanshoku chances. Go for like stuff like Honitsu, Toy, Sananko, any way that you can to get like value, because you don't have that Ipatsu and Ura now, so you can't just get Ricci +1. At the minimum, you need kind of like Ricci +2 to get that Mongon chance. Alright, so it drops that 2. Tsumagiri finishing up dropping a 8/9-so from hand, so that's a Tatsu drop from them. 2-so Tsumagiri. Huh? Huh. Huh. Alright, right, so this is an amazing shape. So if you ever study Mahjong 101, and you're like learning like your complex shapes, then this will probably come up, where you have this three-sided weight basically, and also like a nobetan. So this is waiting on, if you have this as your final shape, this 2 2 2 3 4 5 6. It's waiting on the 1, the 3, the 4, uh, yeah, the 1, the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7. So it's a 5 title weight, which is really, really, really shiny. But it is furry 10 for us. I don't know if that's the thing. And also, it kind of bugs into our Sanshoku, but technically Sanshoku's not confirmed right now because we still need that 6. So if we got a 3, then no Sanshoku. So if we drop, let's say, the 2 pin, we can take in all 5 of these tiles and be happy. We can also take in like the 4 or the 7 pin, except the 7 kind of already died off. Whoops. Um, hmm. If we drop the 3, that would be the best chance at getting our Sanshoku, because then we're left, we can still draw a 2, we can draw a 4, if we draw a 7, we're really sad. We can draw a 3, and then all of these options can give us Sanshoku. So yeah, what are they going to do? Are they going to go Ukiere Max with the 2 draw, or like Sanshoku Max with like the 3 draw? Or I guess, yeah, those are like the two main options I can see. The 4 draw. Huh. 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 Actually, I guess that is pretty okay. So, Ukiere Max, I was saying before, was like the 2 pin draw, because then you have like the 4 and the 7. But in this case, we can already see 1, 2, 3 of the 4s, 3 of the 7s, and also Refuriton on the 7, right? So technically, though we would just choose another weight probably. Um, so technically speaking, that's like what? Only 2 tiles versus if we throw out this, the 2 pin actually has all 3 remaining, so that's 3 tiles. So this is actually the Ugari Max. Okay. So we still have a chance for Sanshoku, but this shape is just so amazing. Like, absurdly amazing. Like, oh, it's so good. Actually, how far back did they see that shape? I guess it became a potential at this point. Alright, so, going on. Someone could use the 3, and Ponzik. Glad we're not waiting on that 3. Wow, good call there. Drops a 4. Okay. So yeah, if we call this with like the 2 and the 3 Manzu right here, we're currently at Tempai waiting on a 3/6 Sozu. If we went on the 3, that is a 2,000 point hand. If we went on the 6, that is a Sanshoku, 3,900 point hand. Currently, there's 2 people open, and another person like, Tatsu over. So if we want to go fast, this is definitely the play. But if we want to go big, passing it up is the play. But like, how big is like how late is too late? Like, when should we call this? I have no idea. There are 2 people open, so we can assume that they're probably pretty close, if not in Tempai, especially since both of these people in question have dropped Tatsus. So, yeah. And then currently we can see 4 of the 4 pins and only 1 of the Dora, so that's not a good sign either. So let's see what they decide to do. Personally, I would call Chi here. They don't. Oh, okay. So they're just like, no, 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 not worth my time. So they draw 5 pin, which is very unfortunate. Because you can't really drop a 5. I guess you could drop a 5 pin if you have like just nerves of steel. Um, but it's like the door tile and there's 2 people open, and that's like, ugh. Also, even if we want to like throw the 6 and like keep this shape right here, the 3's got called, and so this is kind of sad. So yeah, I guess we might risk throwing the 5 if we get like a 6 so, and then we're like, oh, amazing weight Ricci or something. Or they could just wait on like the 5 Tonki later on and like never throw it. Huh. Yeah, what do we do here? So I guess like 2 pin is just like the easiest drop. 3 mon is like the most Sanshoku, or I guess 3 mon's like I really don't want to drop the Dora drop. So they go with, yeah, I'm still gonna keep this around, but I'm not dropping the door right now. Drop. I am really curious to see if they did like draw the 6, would they actually risk dropping that 5 door into this situation? Now Shori has joined the chat. He's actually laying down behind me and also in the chat. Oh wow. So yeah, we dropped the 2 pin right here, and this person Ron. So they were in Tempai. They opened up with a quick 1,000 point hand to end it all. So let's see what everyone else is doing right here. So yeah, this was kind of dangerous. So this person was open. This person was open. Presumably, both of them opened on to get to Tempai. So let's see if that's actually the case. So yeah, they pawned. They immediately got into Tempai, waiting on the 3 and the 3. And then they switched up their weight when they drew a 4. And then this person right here, Zishanten, Toyman was just folding from the get-go or something. Wow, what? I want to look at that. So yeah, they called Tempai, Tanya Wandora waiting on the 4 and the 7 right there. And then this person went with their 1,000 point hand. What was Toyman doing? This is really interesting. So I was talking to my friends about this the other day, or actually it was today, of what would you do if you start off with like a horrible, like, 5 shunts in hands, and like how should you actually approach it? What's up, Kator? Oh, thanks for watching, Robin. Catch you later. Let's see. Shori says, can you go back a sec and show when the 7th pin was called and what shape they discarded it from? Check out the VOD. Here you go, Shori. Just for you. Just because you are my friend, Shori, I will show you what they dropped that awesome 7 pin from. They dropped it from this shape right here. Yeah, the 7 pin was like a really interesting like discard, I think. I don't know if it's like, I don't know how to say if it's like right or wrong, but like for getting Sanshoku and like for going for tile improvement, it's actually like really cool. All right, let's see what Toyman was doing. So yeah, if you start off with like a really bad hand in this rule set, should you just like fold from the get go? So Toyman started off with a 1, 2, 3, 4, technically a 4 block hand. So yeah, just drops that 1. Drops the 8, so I guess they're like balancing like, well, I could potentially upgrade for value with like Honitsu and either of these potentially. Or potentially even if I just like keep drawing Manzu, it'll look like I am going for Honitsu and other people might get scared. Tsumogiri. Alright. Gotta make a choice now, so I guess they go with oh no, they just go with South. That's their own win too. Huh. Is this like maintaining like the what's it called? Like the bluff of the potential Honitsu? So they kept these, so they're like stocking up on safe tiles now. Drops that. Okay, interesting. Alright, done with that hand. Let's go to the next. We are in East 3. Dora is the 2 pin. And this guy is the dealer, so we are currently south. So south and east are both good to us. West and north, unfortunately, are both otakaze. Currently, this hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 shanten, 3 blocks, and 2 pairs. So yeah, what do you do with this? If we're looking for value, just like straight up, like Sanshoku, or not Sanshoku, Honitsu seems nice. So yeah, guess it'll depend on what we draw. Ooh, all right, South is our wins. Do we just like go for Honitsu hardcore? Do we just throw like the 8/8s and then the 4, or do we just like wanna like back off a little bit, enjoy life, throw like the 2 otakazes? Since if we do go for Honitsu, ideally we want it to be a Mangan Honitsu, which means Honitsu plus 2. So Yakuai Yakuai, for instance. So the Otakaze don't actually do much except for to give you a little bit extra like speed. So yeah, see what he decides to do. Yeah, just straight up like 4, like nope. Ain't having it. Another 4-drop right here. Chi from a 3-5 position. Tanya, kind of likely. We draw a 7 right here, so that's pretty good for the shape, but for our value, we still are just crying. But the 7-8-8 shape is really good for just like getting to Tempai, especially with the dealer acting weird. But if the dealer's acting weird, I guess keeping safe tiles around might also be good. So yeah, let's see. Do they go for Ukeire Max and just throw one of like the west or the north, or do they go for Honitsu Max and like throw the 7 and the 8? Honitsu Max. All right. I guess like yeah. I guess like not super Honitsu Max though. So throw this. It keeps around the shape, I guess. So if something else does happen, or if we do suddenly need to go for speed or a quick hand to cancel out, their hand, it still leaves the option open of we can easily get a 6 or a 9. Whereas if you throw like the 7, it's kind of hard to get like one of like the 2 8s. So it's like 8 tiles versus 2. So I guess it's like a backup plan. Straight up and wait for vitality. Where are your dreams, Kator? Where are your like ambitions of Honitsu, Yakuhai, and hopefully another Yakuhai? All right. Hey, so we got a 9 right here. It's like the hand is just like, well, I guess you go for a quick Kwashite now. You go for the quick Kwashite hands. So yeah, probably want to keep this because that's nice. And now we have these tiles to choose from. Uh, 3 of them are Yakuhai tiles, and the other 2 are not. So I guess we drop the west or the north here. Yep, drop the north. Got 8, 9. Dealer drops the Tatsu over. So this could be indicative of either A, Tanya, because they're dropping all these outside tiles, or B, technically Honitsu, because they haven't dropped any honor tiles yet, and they haven't dropped any Manzu yet. So, or it could just be, lots of Dora Tanya. We don't see any Dora right now, so we have no idea. Um, going on. Got a 9, 9, 9. I don't like 9. 9 is bad. Kill the 9. Okay, yep, they don't like the 9 either. I like how everyone over here is just like, yeah, Manzu tiles, we don't need those. Dealer Tsumogiris, a Shonpai. I got this 5 right here, threw a 4 early. Dealer's either going for like Honitsu or Tanyao, so probably kill the 5. Someone could do the 3, a 1 from hands, connected tile potentially. A 1 from their hands, so yeah, this is making it look a little bit more believable to be a Tanyao, unless of course it's like just an absurdly awesome uh, like Honitsu hand that's already overflow. But it's kind of interesting if they had this 1 mon. We don't know like when they drew it, but if they had it from the beginning and they still called this 3-5, that could indicate that their hand was really close to Tempai, or like it had like so much value, just as like open Tanyao with potentially Sindora, that they just want to call it like immediately. So, well, and I guess like it was the second 4 because this 4 came out and then that 4 came out, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. Okay. All right, next draw, an 8, Honitsu. Probably not. Technically we could upgrade to Itsu though, so probably just play it straight. Drop this drop this West Wind. The West is safe for the dealer, but I don't think we have to worry about them right now. Let's see what they do. Oh, so they decide to keep the West, which is safe for the dealer. Drop their own Yakuhai tile, the South Wind here. It's an interesting choice. I guess it's already like, well, I don't have any value right now, so just keep some safety around. Especially since like they could still be going for Honitsu, so this tile is safe for them, but this tile could still be dangerous for them if they have actual Honitsu. Alright, drops that. Toyman, 2 Tatsu over. That's cool. Alright, so we are one step closer to our dreams of technically Tempai. So I'm sorry, Haku just came out, so that's a safe tile for the dealer. We could drop Hatsu right here in the same way that we dropped the South, but Hatsu's a bit different in that it gives a Yaku and also it has value. So I don't know if we want to drop that right now with this crappy hand. Or we could drop like the 2-so and just like confirm our blocks and just run away for the rest of the game. Or we can play the middle ground and I guess drop like the Haku or the West right here. Haku would probably be better. So yeah, they drop the Haku, plays the middle ground. Hatsu comes out. No fear from this guy. Gotta watch out. This person. South. Another south. 3. No one looks like they're in Tempa yet. Kill it quick. Oh. Oh. Fun time is over. They are not willing to throw a 3-mon at this point for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 Shanten no Mi hand. Huh. Interesting. The 3-mon's also, well, it's not Shonpai because there's technically one right here. Okay. So we were willing to throw the 5 here, but we're not willing to throw the 3 here. And this person also, like a couple rounds ago, had that same kind of like thought process of like, oh, I'm willing to do something on like this row, but not this row. So that might be kind of important. Tsumagudi's the 1, drops the Haku. Tsumagudi's that. Hey, technically Ishanten. Are they gonna risk throwing the 3 now? Or are they just gonna be like, West? Let's see. If they wanted like potentially fight for Tempai later, throwing the 3 now might be really good. Ooh, I got a follower. Thank you, Lao Sabao. It's Lao. Alright, yeah, if you drop the 3-mon right now, that would probably be pretty good for, like, getting Tempai later, because even if you get Tempai later, and it's, like, you know, super end game, you have to drop, like, a really dangerous 3-mon, probably don't want to do it, especially if you don't see any Dora. But if you drop it right now, it could also be kind of dangerous, but it's, like, less dangerous. So are they willing to risk that 3, or even... Huh. If they're, like, dead set on, like, keeping the 3, they could just throw the West right now, keep the 3, and even if they do get in step by, like, drop their pair and try to make a pair out of, like, the 3-mon, or another Tatsu out of the 3-mon, so not drop it. Uh, yeah, I guess that is one potential. A bit surprised a hand can be developed like this, slowly but surely, and with a lot of luck. Except, like, at this point, the only value that they're potentially fighting for would be, like... I guess they could get some upgrades to, like, Ipeiko Pinfu, but aside from that, it's like, maybe fight for Karaten, that delicious Ryukoku. So let's see what they do. So yeah, they take the risk, they're dropping the 3-mon right here, they're like, well, I have a 1 Shanten, I'm probably not going to reach you this. But, you know, it has, like, some potential for some value later on, so... Risk that 3-mon drop, 9 drop from here. 3 call from here. Whoa. That's a snipe. That's a really big snipe. So yeah. So yeah, they just, like, you know, casually drop this pretty dangerous 3-mon because, oh, no one's probably in Tempai yet. This guy switches out a single 9-mon from hand. This guy's like, oh, Tsumugiri, this just came out, and then just gets utterly destroyed by Dama Tanyao Sanshoku Wandora. Huh. Wow. that can happen. So yeah, let's see what Dealer was doing. So Dealer had 2 Dora. So yeah, they did open up with value. And then looking for either Tanya or Chun with that. So if they do get like the 4 right here, they can just like drop these 2. If they call this, they can get rid of like the 5 or the 3 and then like prefer these shapes right here, I guess. Okay. But yeah, this guy. Why was he keeping around the 9? Was the 9 like a safe tile, or let's see, the 1 came out, the 9's right there. 9, you can see like 3 of them, so it's at least safe for like these 2 people who could still reach. Okay, and then yeah, just like a perfect draw. And it's like, oh god, the 3 just came out. I just drew this 4. This is gonna be amazing. And then boom. Fun stuff. All right. Next hand. Dealership. South 4. Dora is the 8 mon. We got one of those. What do we got starting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Shanten. An awesome 3-sided weight right here. Got like a pair. Got a Penchon, or I'm sorry, well, a Penchon slash Kanchan. Probably Kanchan using the Dora. Unfortunately, we need the Dora indicator, which is one of the more difficult ones to get. And then we have 2 honor tiles right here. So do we just play it straight? Drop that 1 pin? Scripted. All moshing is scripted. You're like watching the pros on TV, and you're like, "Wow, look at that awesome like Mangon or Yakuman they made." Nope, it's all WWE stuff. All right, drops the 1 right here, pretty standard. Ooh, draws a 4. We can switch over to Tanyao now because we got like a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. Are they gonna drop the 9 mon here? Which I guess is like, oh, what can we drop? So we can drop the 9 mon, or we can drop the Haku and the Hatsu. If we drop the 9 mon, then that means that if someone declares a second turn reach, at least we're not dropping something near the Dora. If we drop the Haku and Hatsu, we are potentially preventing people from getting pairs and then calling them later. Or if even if they have pairs right now, they might not want to call them like immediately, like this early on. So that's another thing you can consider. So let's see. I would probably drop these 2, but let's see what they're gonna do. So yeah, they'd go with the 9. I guess in JPML A League rules, if you are looking at just like the safety of these, like these are actually probably a lot safer than this because if there is like a reach later on, like Dora tiles, any tile around the Dora especially is like really like desired. All right, so it drops a 9. Got Otakaze 9. Tsumogiri, what? All right, so yeah, this is awesome. So we just drew a 5 right here, so that means we can draw another 5. This also gives us like E-Peiko chance, and technically it frees up our heads. So before we had to get like this 4 or this 6 right here, but now technically we have like if you treat this as like a 4, 5, 6, and then a 4, 6, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 blocks and no head. And this is kind of like what I talked about a couple hands ago, where if you have 5 blocks and no head, so no pair, any other like tile that you draw on those for your pair will advance your hand. So with this 5, we can now draw a 6. We can draw, I'll just name them all: 6, 7, 8 Manzu, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sozu, and then also this is kind of a fun shape. We can draw a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, or a 7 Pinzu as well. And then of course whichever one of these 2 we have left. So yeah, Hatsu or Haku, whichever. There's the Hatsu, no all green. 4, 1 so, Hatsu, got 2. 8 so, alright, so I would probably go all green right here and just drop the Haku, because if we do keep this 8 so around, that's another 3 tiles that we can get for a Tanyao. And then technically also, if we draw like a 7, we could have this awesome 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we have like no pair and that remains as our like final shape, then it could be like a 3-sided weight as well. I guess the safer route would maybe be to throw the 8, but I guess the 8 doesn't seem that bad right now. Ooh, one thing to note that I find out the hard way all the time. In JPML A-League rules, compared to like Tenho rules or like Macho rules, anything with like Akaari, um, Sakigiri, which is like, let's say you have like, I don't know, like a 6, like 7, 7 in your hand. normally you're not gonna throw that 7 out really early because you know you want to like go to Tempai as fast as possible, especially in like Tenho and Majso rules. The games go really fast because it's easy to get value. You just run into Dora, you run into like those red Dora. Gotta go fast. So in that rule set, if a person throws like a 7 so pretty early on, the 8 so and the 9 so are relatively safe, like pretty safe, especially in the current meta. Uh, but in JPML A League rules, that is not the case because you have this thing called Yaku that you are choosing now. So you don't really care if keep like a 6 7 7. Let's say if you draw that 7, uh, yeah, it advances your hand. But if you have a chance for a 6 7 8 Sanshoku, it's a lot better to just cut that out to raise your Ukede in other places as much as you can, and then concentrate on going for those Yaku. So Sakigiri of like dropping the 7 but still needing like the 8 or even like the 9 is really common. So just because they have the 7 here doesn't necessarily mean this 8 is safe. So Haku is probably safer if they are going for like a safe option. So let's see what they do. So yeah, they did go for the safe option here. Decides to keep the Haku around instead of the 8 so. Oh, why are they going for the safe option when they're dealer and they have like this awesome like nice hand? So if you do keep like safe-ish tiles like this around, it does offer some benefit. One of the biggest ones being you can fight from Shanten. So if let's say next turn one of these 4 people declare Richi, then we can still reasonably like throw out like like this Haku to them. But if we have like an 8 so, or let's say we kept something a little bit more dangerous like a I don't know, like a 3 mon or like a 4 mon or something. Those are a lot harder to throw to a Ricci, especially when you're at like a not Tempai hands. But if you keep around like a safe tile and you confirm your blocks, while it does drop your speed a little, if someone does declare Ricci and hits Tempai before you can still fight relatively safe and have the chance to push your hand even while they're in reach. And if you're lucky enough to get into Tempai, then yeah, good to go. All right, drops an 8. It's a bit reverse. Potentially connected tile. Tatsu drop from them. 1 mon drop right there. And we draw a 9. Huh. So they kept the Haku before because it was like a safer tile, right? So which is considered safer here? A Shonpai Haku or a Shonpai 9-pin? So from a like WRC perspective, I would probably say like, oh, I really don't want to keep around like the Haku. Like, I want to kill this off as fast as possible. Like, I have a really nice hand. It would be bad if someone like called and like just Haku no me to end it all. So I'd probably drop the Haku here, but yeah. If they want to Shibori it until later, I guess, and also keep it as potentially a safe tile, they could keep it. Or if they think like 9 is reasonably as safe, then they could just drop the Haku now. So yeah, they just throw the 9, keeping that Haku around. 6 9 5, no call there. Ooh, okay, so now we got a 5. We are currently Ishanten from a potential Tanyao, Ipeiko, Wandora. If we do get into Tempai, we can just Dama this hand because it's 7-7 or what is that? Like 11-9 with the Tsumo, 3,900 all. So yeah, just the Haku, I guess. I guess if you want to be really safe, you like throw the 6 so, but that would be breaking up this awesome shape and like chances to like improve. So yeah, probably just the Haku. Yep. Play it straight. This person calls and drops this. So they called with this, so we can probably reasonably assume, especially since this is like the first Haku, so they didn't wait for the second one, that they have either value or speed, or potentially both. So this could be like one Shanten, even Tenpai, technically at this point. Um, so yeah, let's see what that is. Tune. You just drop the tune. Daisangen's dead. They probably don't have Chun in their hand because they were the first one to drop Hatsu, and then they also had Haku in their hand. And so it's like, why would you drop your Daisangen chance? Actually, I think we were the first one to drop Hatsu. Okay, so they could technically have it, but unlikely. If they do have it, then it's probably scary because they have a Mongon already, probably, or something. But yeah, kill it now. Okay, got a 9 discard, another chance. They were thinking the same thing of like, yeah, just kill it off. And a Tatsu drop from them, so they are probably one-shotting right now, unless they had a perfect draw into Tenpai. And we get an amazing draw! Alright, alright. What do we do here? So we dropped the 8 so earlier, so unfortunately the like 2-5-8 weights is kind of sad. So we probably just want to like drop the 2 so, I guess, is like the straight up one right here. If we drop the 2 so, we can work our way inward and potentially upgrade to Ipeiko. We could technically drop like the 5 so and keep like the 2 so as a little bit safer tile, but I don't think we'll be defending much, so yeah, 2 so seems okay. If we really don't like this Dora weight that we have right here, technically speaking, we could drop the 6mon right here and either wait on like a Dora Tonki or potentially even like draw just like a 2, a 5, or an 8 later on, and then get like Tanyao, Ipeiko, and risk throwing that Dora if they're willing to risk throwing that Dora. So yeah, let's see what they do. Or maybe a magical option that I did not even consider. Nope. So it drops that 2 so. 1 Shanten. Haku comes out right here. It's like a safe tile overflow. That could be indicative of a potential Tenpai or even like 1 Shanten. I don't know about this rule set if that also applies, but let's see. This person drops a lone, presumably lone Northwind, Shonpai at least. Hey! Alright, our 8 so friend is back, except it does nothing for us because we dropped that 2 so. So, yeah, just kill off that 8 so, I guess. I guess we could technically extend, actually. I guess we could technically extend this hand to like a Sanshoku if we stretched really hard, but that's like a really hard stretch. If you wanted to do that, then I guess you would throw the 5 so, else you just throw the 8. Oh, so they're like, Sanshoku stretch. Ah, going for it. Drops that 5 so now technically speaking, if we take like, I don't know. Alright, okay, oh wait, I do know now. Okay, so if we take in like a 7 pin, right? They're waiting on the Dora indicator, so it's pretty bad weight, but it is Tiny Dora 1, but they'll probably Dama that. And then if they draw an 8, they can improve it to a Sanshoku Dora 1, so that's one way that they can improve that way. Or they can draw like an 8, like straight off the bat, drop like a 6, and then try to improve that way too. Actually, you probably wouldn't drop the 6, you'd probably drop a 4 and just confirm it and then be able to take in a pair of like the Dora. Okay. So this person drops safe tile June. Huh. This is a bit reverse. Not that much though. So the Haku is like all the way dead, and then the Tune was only like 2 dead. So either they potentially could use it, or they were just like trying to throw some fuzz into the readers of people looking at discards like me and trying to extrapolate data where it doesn't exist. Haha. Alright, once so Hatsu comes out from their hand, that is a safe tile overflow. They are probably in Tenpai or at least one Shanten. Hey, wow. Fujisaki, I think, is cheating. He's like, yeah, what if I did this 5 so I can get 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku? And the game is like, that's a great idea. You deserve a Sanshoku. Uh, so yeah, what does he drop now? So if we drop like the 6, then we can take in the 7 and then drop like the 5. We can take this 7, drop in the 5. We can take in the 4 as well and be Tenpai for our, like Tiny Odora. If we drop the 4 pin, that actually won't give us Sanshoku because that kills off our head. And so, yeah, if we're going for Sanshoku, we can't drop the 4 pin. So we would need to drop either like the 5 pin or the 6 pin. And then the 5 pin is like, I don't know, the 5 pin's pretty thirsty because you lose like, I guess you don't really, do you lose anything if you drop the 5 pin? So if we drop the 6, we still have 7, we still have 4, and then we're losing 6. But if you drop the 5, you still have 4 because you have 2 pairs right here. You still have 6, and you still have 7. So actually 5 is a higher ukiiri if you're going for Sanshoku. Huh, that's weird. I like it. But of course, if we do keep this 8 and we go for that Sanshoku, we are losing like the 3 draw right there, and then also like the 5 draw. So yeah, Sanshoku or speed? Go! So they said, nope, nope, just speed, just speed. I wonder why they decided to still do 5 right here then. I guess as like a precaution to this person, because like they still like dangerous to them technically, but the 5 is a safe tile. Alright. 3 Tsumogiri, 7. This is a push. This guy's like straight up pushing. And we saw before that this is like potentially Tempai right here, and they're still pushing. So danger, danger, danger. 7 pin, that's also a push. This person calls, drops a 2, presumably has something connected to that 2, because we can see 7, 8, and then 2 is connected to that. They had options for safe tiles that they dropped before, so this 2 pin's most definitely a connected tile, and you should probably assume they're in Tempai. Currently, we see 1 Dora, so it could be anywhere between like a 1,000 point hand to an 8,000 point hand. Could also be Honitsu as well, technically. Oh, that's sad. So yeah, we just drew a 1 pin, which is like right connected to like whatever they have right here with this 2 pin potentially. Uh, but we also have a really good hand. We're dealer, and yeah, I would probably just drop it. Let's see if they do. Yeah, so they're just like, I don't care. You can't scare me. I'm the dealer. 2 pin, safe tile drop from right here. 1 mon is also a safe tile drop. So both of these are safe tile drops, so they could both be defending, which could be indicative that the Dora might be over here. What's up, Sine Square X? Tuning in, great analysis. Where can I watch this later? I guess if you tune in on the Twitch channel, there should be a video that will be saved after this. I'm pretty sure I have that setting up still. Yeah, so there will be a video after this that you can watch of it. If I remember, I'll try to push this up on my YouTube as well, so that at least it'll be saved there. And I should probably add a link to my YouTube. I will do that later. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Where is that? There we go. So we get to the 4. We draw a West Wind. Currently, there's 1 out right here. Good hand. Probably still push that West Wind. 2-mon Sumogiri. That's a push. Yeah, that's a straight up push. So they're straight up pushing. So we can probably assume either like Tempai or like 1 Shanten. 9 pin is not much of a push, but it is a little bit of a push. So still probably within like 1, 2 Shanten. 4 pin comes from hand. Should we call this? So they just finished dropping like a Tatsu drop right there. They could even be like hunting for like a pair, because yeah, they could be hunting for a pair. If we do call this right now, we can pawn it and drop the 5, or chi it and drop the 6 and be Tempai for Tanya 1 Dora. It's currently like past the 12th turn. We're into the late round now. I would probably call. Maybe, but that is the Tenho player me speaking. What does the actual A-leaguer do? They do not call. They're like, nope, I am going for value. Like, I am not cheaping my hand for you. Like, you should respect me, not the other way around. That's cool. Okay. Someone gets that. Draw a 5. This person's looks like they're straight up pushing. Suji to the Dora. 2-mon is a safe tile, or at least not kind of safe. Suji right here, past last turn, but there's like a switch right here. It's relatively safe though. Cheese right there. So I guess the 2-mon right here is like defending still, but now it's defending both against this person who's pushing and then this person who's 2 open. So they chi that, drop a 1, which could be a potential safe tile, or they could also have like some connected shape to the Manzu. That's interesting. Most probably just a safe tile, I think. so that's a safe tile over. If you weren't sure that they're in Tempai before, now you probably are. And we got into Tempai! All right. So if we drop the 6 here, we are Tempai with a Tanya, 1 Dora. Waiting on the Suji of the 7, which is, or the Suji of, not the Suji, the Dora indicator, which is really, really hard to get. Like, absurdly hard. Like, in this rule set, Dora is really hard to get, and then, like, the second hardest is probably the Dora indicator. So yeah, we're probably dropping 6-spin here, because we have Tempai, we're dealer, but the big question, I guess, is do we Richi, or do we not Richi? The San Shoku would be here. Yep, if we kept that 8 around, we would have had the San Shoku. Didn't believe in the San Shoku. Instead, they believed in, like, a lot higher Ukede. Oh yeah, speaking of which, going back to that 8-pin draw, so they do decide to Sama. So right here, if they do just decide to drop the 5, how much, like, speed are they losing? So in comparison, let's see, they don't gain anything, but they do lose the 3, they lose the 5, and because they're also losing their, like, too many, like, Tatsu and no, like, head yet, they're also losing the 6 and the 8. So that's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tiles that they're losing for this chance at Sanshoku. And with Tanya 1 Dora already a potential Mangan chance, I guess they're like, nah, I'm good. So they do decide to Dama here. If they drew, so should we Dama or should we like Richi? This is like one thing I've been looking at recently. So one kind of interesting thing for this is Pinfu Nomi. So if you Richi Pinfu Nomi in this rule set, because you already know like 100% like how much your Pinfu Nomi is going to be, if you Richi it. Because in like Ipatsu Ura rule sets, you can get Richi, Sumo, Ipatsu, you got your cool Pinfu, and then you can hit like 2 Uradora, boom, you turned your like boring 1000 Pinfu hand into a 12,000 point hand just because Richi exists with Ipatsu and Ura. But because we don't have Ipatsu and Ura, even if we do a Richi, it becomes Richi, Sumo, and Pinfu. That's it. So, like, EV wise, when is it better to Richi your Pinfu versus not Richi your Pinfu? So if you're looking at this in just like a single player situation, let's pretend the other 3 players don't exist. Let's pretend they're playing perfect defense and you can only Tsumo your Pinfu. When is it better for you to Richi your Pinfu as opposed to just stay Dama with it? And you can just do a nice little mathematical equation, but the answer is about 50%. In other words, if your win rate is higher than 50%, Richi is better than Dama. If your win rate is lower than 50%, you lose out to Dama. The main reason is, assuming that situation, if you do go to Yukoku and you Richi, you lose your dealer stick, or you lose your stick. And this is even more of a problem when you're fighting with 2 people, because before, if you win your hand before Ryukoku, then you get your stick back. But if it goes to Ryukoku, then you lose your stick. Similarly, if you're fighting someone, any win that they have, you lose your stick. Whereas if you Dama, you can never lose your stick. So how much do you actually need, like win rate wise, to make Richi worth it? Becomes a really big question in this rule set. Whereas in other rule sets that have Ipatsu and Ura, Richi is not 1 Han, it's like 1.5 Han. And so most of the time, or at least a lot more of the time, you're going to Richi. Okay. So they decide to Dama right here. Which, this late, what do we got? So there's 21 draws left, so that's only 5 draws for them left. And they have 4 tiles. So if we're looking at this in a box, that's like what? 4 times like 3.5, which is like 12, so like 15-ish. Like 50, actually, am I counting that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 times that. Alright, so it's about like 18-ish% chance. If we're assuming like, oh wait, no, there's only 3 tiles, so yeah, even like a yeah, so their win rate is not that high right now. Yeah, Mahjong Baka makes a really good point. Ricci is not so scary either. So even if like you do Ricci and it's like, oh, a dealer reach, if you have let's say 3 Dora, why do you fear a dealer reach? Like generally speaking, you don't really fear dealer reach. So it's a lot easier to like push Ricci's as well in this rule set. Whereas in WRC or Tenho rules or Majso rules, if you push a Ricci, it could be a Ricci Nomi, but then they could also hit Hero 3. So there's a little bit more risk to like pushing any reach. This is especially true for dealer, because if you're a dealer and let's say you're fighting a cool Ricci Penfu, if you deal into that, it's 2,000 points. If they sumo a reach sumo Penfu, it's 1,300 points. So the difference between like sumo and deal in is actually not that much. And in some cool cases, like if they're waiting on a Shabo of a Yaku Haidora, dealing in with like the cheap side of that is actually less point loss than them sumoing the big side of that. So yeah, fight the reach. So they decide to stay Dama here, be cool like. Also, if they do stay Dama and they draw the Dora, they don't have to sumo Gudea into like some death hand. So we got a 5 right here. Safe tile, safe tiles. That's probably a fold. Tuso, also like safe tile, safe tiles. So this is probably a fold. From their perspective, we look, the 6-pin right here is a straight up push. So these two people know that, hey, this guy is pushing and they're probably in Tempai. This person doesn't care. They're just like, I'm in Tempai. So they Tsumogiri, which is pretty safe right now. Suji right there. East is nowhere to be seen. If we deal in with this east right here, it's probably like 2,000 points. Because they have to have like a pair to actually use it for a, the triplet of the east. Or if they have it as like a Tonki, then it could be like 1 Dora in this. Unless it's like really bad where they have like Dora Dora and then also like East East, and then that would suck. But that's unlikely. Also, we're Tempai, so yeah, just to the east. Bum bum. And then we get runs. So yeah. 2,000 points right here. East, Haku. So yeah. Alright. Not bad. So this is also a situation where we didn't reach, and by not reaching, we lost 1,000 less points than we would have if we reached. And then our 2 7s right here. 7's really hard to get. Or generally, even in like Akari Mahjong, the Dora indicator is not that great of a weight. It's probably like the worst weight, arguably. Okay. And then were these two people folding? This person's like, I'm kind of folding, but they're also Ishanten for like Dora 3 Death Hand. What is that? Huh. Okay. Why didn't they keep the Forso looks really I guess because they're furry tinted for it. Okay. I was like, why didn't they keep this 5? Okay. Alright. On to the next hand. Alright, we are into the south round. Dora is the 1 Sozu, and currently our hand is horrible. Wow, this is really bad. So we got 1, 2, 3 blocks right now. So technically like 5 Shansen. But they're like really bad blocks, like a Penshan and like 2 like really iffy Kanchans. We have like no value to speak of right now unless we like upgrade to like Sanshoku Dora or something. And then even if like for Kokushi, we only have like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So can't even like Kyushu Kyuhai. Oh, and in this rule set, they have all the exhaustive draws. So they have Kyushu Kyuhai, uh, 4 of the same wins, Sufu Renda, 4 Richis, 4 Cons. What was the last one? I thought there was 5. Maybe it's just 4. Shori,
What's up?
how many exhaustive draws are there? Are there 5 or 4?
How many what now?
Exhaustive draws. So you have like Sufu Renda. You have Kyushu Kyuhai. You have 4 Cons. You have 4 Richis. Is there anything else I'm missing?
think that's it.
Yeah, I guess that's it. 13 orphans, go! Uh, that actually might be a plausible strat. Like, so in this rule set, because like I mentioned before, the UMA is not that high. So even if you get like first place and you were like the bestest first, and everyone else is below starting points, you only get plus 12,000 points. Whereas if you win like a single dealer Yakuman or something, that's already 4 times like that. So Yakumans are huge, and winning Yakumans in this rule set are also pretty important because they give you an absurd amount of points. So if you even have like a semblance of a chance for a Yakuman, generally speaking, you want to go for that Yakuman. All right. So yeah, let's look at it. See what there's gonna do. So we got North drop. It's kind of sad. One drop. One drop. Uh oh. Okay. Uh. And we got East. All right. So we're a bit closer. 4 blocks. Yeah. So Forso is kind of nice next to the Dora. 8mon is just kind of out there. 9pin's kind of out there, but it at least is like an end tile, and I guess could be a little bit safer, and also could be a little bit more fun if we draw another 9 compared to if we draw like an 8. Or we can just drop like Otakaze. We got the South, and the other two are good for us. Or we can drop that one cut North. Let's see what they do. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. Okay. Wow, that's a move. What's up, Rogue? So yeah, they just straight up go Forso from the get-go. They're just like, yeah, my hand's horrible. I guess it could potentially be kind of like a really lucky like Chanta or I guess technically like Junchan, or if we're really lucky, like a Kokushi later on. But yeah, let's just throw out this Forso. We don't need that Tuso Dora. Um, if they do draw the Tuso Dora, they're probably gonna keep it later. But yeah, just go straight on. Gives us a chance to get lucky to potentially get like a Mongon later, but still like playing really safely and like keeping a lot of tiles that people aren't gonna be using. So okay. Hand's bad, ain't big. Oh crap, we drew the Dora. Great. Whatever. We can get Chitoitsu still, I guess. So are they just gonna go like yo and drop the Dora, or are they just gonna do like a normal move and drop like the 8 or the North? Technically, if we're going for Chitoitsu now, still technically 5 away, but with the Dora, that could technically become value if we got really lucky and got to that point. So yeah, probably like the 8-so or like the 2-cut North, but the 2-cut North is pretty good for value. I mean for defense. So let's see. 4. Nope. All aboard. They're just like, yep, let's go. Keeping defense. I'm not dropping the Dora because if my hand is horrible and I'm never going to like advance it, uh, why would I give the Dora to people to call like Chi or even Pon? No reason. Like the Dora dies with me, kind of sort of thing. So they're just yeah, I like this. All right, 4. Got this West 6. Draw 7. Technically hand progression for whatever this may or may not become. So at this point, I guess if we're going for a little bit of semblance of fight, we can drop the North. If we want to keep more defense, then we can drop the 2 or the 8 right here. The 2 might even make it look scary because we're also dropping a Tatsu. Oh, yep. So that's what they're doing. So they're like, ooh, drop that 4-2. Oh, guys, watch out. This guy's going for like a Hornitsu or something. Not only did he drop like a tile that's right next to the Dora, but they also dropped like, 4-2 Tumon Tatsu. Like, what is up with this? Now, it could be a horrible hand, yes, but it could be an amazing hand. And the scary part is you don't really know until a little bit later. Okay, so got the Haku Pon. Drops that. Got this 6. So, what are we doing here? Uh, so this is actually kind of interesting. So, if we want to continue our, going for this outside hand and keeping maximum safety, drop that 6 spin. No cares. But what we could also do is make a discard pile that looks like it's going for something when it's actually like garbage. So if they drop the 6-pin here, that's basically saying to everyone, hey, look, I'm not going for Honitsu most probably. But if you drop like an 8-mon here, then it might look like that. So yeah, they could technically also drop a north here because it's 2-cut and it wouldn't look that suspicious for their Honitsu plans either. So nope, they're just like, I don't need bluffs, in that kind at least. Drops that 6-pin, maximum safety, and also keeping like the end tiles for a potential to get lucky. Okay, Hatsu's right here. Shonpai, another Hatsu. South drops 3-mon. We don't need that. Probably just kill it off, I guess. Yep, drops that 3. Get rid of all these dangerous tiles now while they don't see any like hints of Tempai from anyone, because once it's later, we have like nothing in his hands. We have to fold. So rather than like, throwing like some safer tiles now and keeping these more dangerous ones, throw the dangerous ones now, and so whenever everyone is actually in Tempai, we have all these safe tiles ready to go. Okay, drops 5, 1, June. Hey, all right. So we got technically 1, 2, 3, 4. If we force in the Dora, we have 5 blocks right here. Uh, Keeping the 8 around could give us a Sanshoku chance if we are still kind of like greedy for that lucky chance. But so if we want to be like greedy and like, oh, I still want to maybe push this hand later, but also safe, we could just drop the 8-mon right now, confirm our 5 blocks, and then just go straight up safety. So yeah, let's see which ones they do. Huh. All right, so yeah, they drop the south right, the north right here. Not the north. They drop the south right here. North and Haku are still both safe tiles. If we're comparing them, Haku is the safest because we can see all 4 of them. North is the second safest because we can see 2 right here, and then it's also safe for the dealer. This is the third safest because it's safe for the dealer, but the other 2 are still missing. And then keeping the 8 around lets us draw like a 7 or a 9 for that nice Sanshoku chance. And we do not want to drop the door right now because we're not even close to Tempai. Technically, we're like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 Shanten, but this is kind of a bad 3 Shanten. Alright. 8 north. That's a safe tile overflow. But everything else looks like trash, so I don't want to read that much into it. 5 so drop. 9! What is this? This horrible, horrible trash hand is now turned into technically 2 Shanten for a potential, like, Sanshoku Chanta, like, mess. Like, what? So, are they gonna just be, like, really cool right here and drop the Dora? Or are they gonna drop, like, like the North? Or potentially even, they could drop the 1 and the 3-pin. So, if they drop the, North and like the Haku. That's like, well, I'm not gonna drop. I don't want to drop the door right now, but I guess if I get into Tempai later, it might be cool to have that. And then also keeping this around, just like your final block. If you drop the 3 or the 1-pin right now, and you keep this 2, that means you are basically declaring I am never dropping the Dora, and I'm like setting it up for that right now. Or dropping the door right now would just be like really ballsy, but I don't think they would do that in A-League rules because the Dora is really, really, really valuable. Like, so valuable that's like, if you can't have it, like, no one can, kind of sort of thing. So, Haku. So, yeah, they're playing the middle grounds. If they do get into Tempai, they're probably going to be willing to drop that Dora. 1 comes out. 6. 3. So Tatsu drop right here. They're probably like 1 Shanten unless they have like a perfect draw. Then they could even be Tempai. This is also right next to the Dora, which is really scary. Okay, 5-pin. So yeah, we have a choice now. So this person's already Tatsu over. If they are lucky, then they could have instantly drawn into Tempai, and they could technically be Tempai right now. Probably they're 1-2 Shanten, but that chance for Tempai is still technically there. So is he going to Sumagiri that 5-pin, or is he going to hold on to it now and say, nope, dreams are over, safety? No, dreams are not over. Believes that it's still safe enough to cut that right now. 6 comes out right here, 6 comes out right here. This is kind of interesting, because 6 is a safe tile, and then this 6 just became a safe tile with its Sumogiri. So they could be defending right now. This person right here doesn't care. That's like an, straight up like dangerous tile. So they're just like, fight. Sumogiri right there. Gah. So yeah. Yeah, what is this? So they drew a 9-mon, which is technically good because we can now take in like the east and have another pair and still get Chanta. It's technically not great because you lose your Sanshoku, but your shapes are horrible anyway. So are they just gonna like drop that 9-mon right here? Say nope, Sanshoku all the way. If I'm fighting and dropping the Dora, it's gonna be for Sanshoku. Or they could just drop like the north and go like maximum like greedish potential. Nope. So yeah, they are dropping that 9-mon. They are declaring that they are not dropping that Dora unless they have like a Sanshoku Chansa to back it up. And even then, they might not drop the Dora this late. But let's see. Sumogiri's the 6, drops the 9, which is like a safe tile. So this person's most probably defending because we Tsumogiri this and they followed up. So this looks like they're like just out of the race unless they've had like 3 really, really lucky draws that just happen to correspond to all these. 6 so Tsumogiri. 8-mon. We're going to risk that. It's not that much risk, but it is a little risk to this guy. So yep, still risking that. 3 comes out right here. Safe tile for the dealer. So yeah, they're in defense mode. 6 Sumagiri. What is this? Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, so Ishanten for a Chanta Sanshoku, like Mongon, like straight up. Are they gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna drop like the door right now because I got this amazing Mongon? Or are they gonna be like, I'm just gonna, drop this like safe tile here? Or I guess another thing they can do is drop the 1-3 or the east and basically make the declaration of I am never dropping the Dora, so I'm going to make it a block and then kill off one of these. So yeah, they just go regular Ukeiri Max. They are one shots in for their cool Mongon hand. I'm really curious to see if they're going to throw the Dora this late. So this person still doesn't care. 7th drop. This person... What? That might actually be their safest tile. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 6 pins right here. And so this might be coming out of like even like a Tatsu or like a Toitsu drop. So they have like a pair of it, and it's like, well, so this one and the next one. Hello. All right. So this person just switched out a safe tile tune from their hand. So that is a pretty big indicator that they could very well be Tenpai. So you should treat this hand as either like Tenpai or one Shanta now. Currently, we can see one of the Dora, and then they have Haku. If we do drop the Dora into that, that's kind of dangerous. I'm really curious to see if they're going to drop the Dora if they hit Senpai. Alright, West right here, that's pretty safe. Just chunk that. This person's still pushing, just keep on keeping on. So if they're still pushing at this point, and this person is pretty much declared like Tenpai, this is probably also Tenpai, or at the very least one Shanten. And also it has the value to back it up. But like we mentioned before, this person's a dealer, and so even if they like, push versus like this person's sumos, there may not be that much of a difference. 1-mon drop right there is safe for pretty much everyone. Tsumogiri draws that 9. We don't need that. Suji, but it's technically Shonpai on the board. Why did I decide to become a pro? So after, yeah, so kind of long story, but I'll sum that up. So yeah, I started playing Mahjong Online college. I then studied abroad in Tokyo for a year and played more Mahjong here. Then I went to the WRC first one in Paris and got to play some there. And yeah, after I came back to the States, I graduated from college from the University of Texas in Austin. Then I'm like, well, what do I do with my life? I was thinking of going back to Japan, doing mahjong stuff because mahjong's fun. But then a friend from California was like, hey, want to write a mahjong book for me? And then she's like, oh, wait, you're like a programmer. Do you want a job? And so I'm like, yeah, sure. So went over there to California, played with the Pacific Mahjong League for a few years. And yeah, even though I'd be working, I would still like fly off to literally every single like mahjong tournament in the United States, as well as tournaments in like South Korea, like Australia, around Europe, uh, and then also go back to Japan every year and play mahjong. And so yeah, I lost like uh, uh, yeah. So after I got rid of most of my attachments in like the California area, it's like, oh, what do I do now? I guess I'll go to Japan and become a pro. So here I am. Mahjong Baka to the extreme. All right. Sumogiri. This person's pushing, so yeah, this person's most probably Tenpai. They're following up, they're defending. This person drops a 5 from their hands, so that's a connected tile. They could have like a what is that? So 6 is dead. And then 5 is connected, so it could be like a 1-3-5, or it could just be like a 3-4-5, and they like draw a 2 and then drop the 5 from their hands. 3 mon. All right, Dreams might be dead. Uh, Dreams might be dead. So we draw a 3-mon, which we can see one right here, but still a dangerous tile right now. Currently, we can see 1 Dora, but still 3 are missing, and this person's in Tenpai, and this person's probably in Tenpai. So they might just fold right here. If they want to like fold and also push, they could technically drop like a 1-3 or like this East right here, but the East is also Shompai right now, so it's also dangerous. The 1 is also not nowhere to be seen. The 3 is also nowhere to be seen. So if they do fold, what are they gonna fold with? Probably the 7, I guess. The 7 pin or maybe like the 8 pin. Okay, so they throw with the 9 pin. The 9 pin. Oh, because it just came out. Duh. All right, so yeah, they just folded. They're just like, I'm out. Like, no more. Tuso comes out right here. Pulling from this person. This is gonna be interesting. West comes out. So that's the safe tile overflow. This guy pushed the Dora, and then this person pulled the Dora. So now this person has 8,000 points guaranteed. Dealer is most 100% in Tenpai because they're like Sumo-gearing Dora. And yeah. So what does this West mean? So this West means that they probably, I don't know, like 5 pin was probably connected to something, and it probably wasn't a 1-3-5 shape because they probably would have thrown the West, considering the value that they had. So that was probably connected to like a complete shape, or at least a shape that can't improve anymore with the 5. Fake gamer guy. My biggest regret in life is not being able to attend your study session at the Seattle Ricci retreat because I was busy teaching another session. Oh, I'll come back to Seattle and do one. I promise. Especially like the Seattle Ricci retreats are like so fun. So definitely worth the trips to Seattle. Uh, Oshile. I wish let's see, we had anything like that in Europe. Um, I guess there has been some. So I know like Gemma did like a not like a Ricci retreat, but like a some type of like I think like like lecture in like Paris before. But last time I was in Europe, I did hear something of like a really cool like Ricci retreat in I forget where, but somewhere in Paris, not in Paris, somewhere in France. Group kind of like does like this thing every year where they just like go out and to the middle of somewhere and just like do. It's not like really a mahjong tournament. It's just like a mahjong like getaway almost. But everyone that I talked to that went to that said it was like really fun. So yeah, I have no idea about the specifics of it though. All right. It's almost 11. So they drew a 7. At this point, they're already folding. Probably drop the 7, I guess, because 6 is dead. Let's see. Drops the 2? Is that like a really cool read? So yeah, the 2 just came out, so it's safe for this person. But is it safe for this person? I guess it has to be. Yeah, well, because if they need the 2, then technically, I don't think that would work, would it? I guess there is like, yeah. Well, let's see. Yeah, I guess there is no shape that they could technically be waiting on it to win. They could have like the 1 and the 3, but then they had like a 1 3 2 2 2. Huh. That's an interesting drop. Do they have more information that we don't? No, wait. Well, wait. We're looking at their hand. Of course they don't. Huh. That's an interesting drop. All right. So let's see. South drops right here. This is a safe tile over, so that's showing either one Shanten or Tenpai. I'm really surprised that they pushed and they were still holding that. Like they dropped like the Dora. Like what? Um, 1 comes out right here. 8 comes out right there. They could just be like Tonki hunting or something right now. 3 right there. We're still defending. Probably drop the 8. We're just out. This person reaches in face of like this Dora Death Hand. If they deal in, it's 8,000. If they Tumo though, it's still like 4,000 points, right? So they have enough value to like make up for that. And then also like I guess a weight that they're confident enough in to reach because this person isn't folding, so they're still trying to get like as much value as they can from this reach by fighting with this person. This person is folding Sumogiri. We also have that 8. Let's just drop that. All right, one more draw for everyone. 3 comes right there. That's really safe, like 100% safe, because we can see a wall of the 2s. 6 is out right here, and we can see all the 3s. Actually, can't we see all the 3s? I guess technically it could be like a Hellweight Tonki, unless they have like another one of those 3-sos in hands. 9, discard that. South is safe. Chun is also safe. And Sumo! Huh. All right, yeah. So they fought, and then they're like, "Well, I have like Richi, Pinfu, 3-sided weights, potential Sanshoku. Let's do it." Huh. That's cool. What was up with this hand? Oh yeah. So yeah, their 5-pin drop was a 2-3-4 shape right here. 8 was connected into like a Tonki right there. Okay, and then this person right here just decided to like, why did they drop the 2-so? Let's see. 2-so, 2-so, 2-so. Where's the 2-so? There we go. Huh. Yeah, so they're just like balls to the wall. Like, wow. That's really offensive. This player right here that dropped that 2-so was the previous Tenhoi. I think like, actually, were they the current one when this happened? I think they're like the previous Tenhoi of the year before. But yeah, they're very, very offensive style, which shows off right there. All right. And so ends that. Okay, it's 11, so I gotta go to sleep. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Oh, and more people follow me, like Pink Yoshi and Oshile, if I'm not butchering your name. 2 Dora in the Dead Wall. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, all the Dora are out. It's really interesting how they got like, let's see, where was it? This hand right here, starting off, like 3 Shanten to nowhere, all the way up to Ishanten to a Mongon. Technically, if they Richi and Simo, it's like a Hanemon hands. Like that's a pretty big jump. Huh, that's cool. All right, so yeah, I'll be doing more of this tomorrow, starting at 9 p.m. JST, or if I'm feeling it, I actually might start a little bit earlier, like around 8. But yeah, look on the Discord. I'll post it on there. So, hi. Thank you for watching, and have a nice night. Or or morning or afternoon because everyone's time schedules are all over the place. Oyasumi.